And we are live. What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? You know who it is. It's your boy, Big Tank Hank, coming at you with a live stream. And we got a special guest today, Dr. Black. How we doing,
Hi.
sir? How we doing?
So good. I'm so good. It's unfunny how good I am.
Amen. Amen. Oh, I see everybody. See how they falling in right now? Falling in. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. See who all we got in the chats.
Oh,
Dobson's Explicit Channel. Welcome. Mel Hitters. Thank you, Melvin. Fantastic Fish. Alan Matthews. Deborah Sanders. Roll. What's going on? Madrill Scene. Chubby Guppy. Third Coast Aquatics. Zen Ginger. Hello, hello. Tank Top Tropics. Fat Man Aquatics. Hello, hello. Natural Aquarium. Pepperland Creek. Third Coast Aquatics. Geek Boy. Hello, hello. Holly Gibbs. Welcome, y'all. Welcome. And they came in with Spider. Who is Spider?
that was coming from Kenny's stream, Danny Ken's stream. He had
Gotcha.
Joseph on there with his snakes and spiders and
Oh, and
fish as well.
tarantulas and whatnot. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Tarantulas, or what I like to call children's spiders, because kids can play with them. You know, get yourself an Australian spider that's a lot more fun.
Oh, my goodness, no.
G'day, Fat
Hey,
Man.
Cincinnati.
Fat Man's first time here, would you believe?
Patty. Yes, I would. That Fat Man just pineapple right before I went live. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank y'all for
Well
coming
done.
in.
That's a wise choice, Fat Man. Wise choice from
Monster Fish Scale. Hello, hello.
one fat man to another. Good choice.
I resemble
Patty.
that.
G'day, Paddy Shaddy. I love saying hi to
Chattanooga
Paddy
Ed, what's
Shaddy.
going on? Chattanooga Ed says he needs glasses like yours.
Really? Oh, yeah.
Texas Fish Room.
They're quite annoying, Ed. I don't know if you really need these ones. I can even survive without them, and I may have to shortly because it's so hot and sweaty here that having this amount of hair on my forehead is increasing my body temperature by about 3 or 4 degrees.
Can't escape. Natural Aquarium, thank you very much.
Good choice, Natural. Good choice.
Hey, Texas Fish Room, you should have waited till Saturday to come to Katy, man. You could have came by here. So, Mr. Blackie, what's going on with you here lately, man? What's going on?
You know, not a hell of a lot. It's deep. You know, we're almost elbow deep in summer here now, and February is quite often our hottest month in Australia. And yeah, it's unpleasant. We've had lots of rain lately, which then, as soon as the sun comes back out, makes it ridiculously humid and sweaty. So 90% of the time it's clothing optional around here. But obviously when I'm doing Big Tank Hank stream, I must wear clothing.
Thank you, sir. Zen Ginger. Oh, we did pretty good during the storm. We did pretty good. We had rolling power outages, and our longest outage was during the sleepy time hours. So we just put on a lot of clothes and went to sleep. And they gave us three down hours, 2 up hours. I had water the whole time. Yeah, we did real good. I have to feel blessed about it. Fat Man lives down this way. But yeah, February, man, I had no idea February was y'all summertime.
Yeah, and like I say, generally the hottest period of the summer. But yeah, it's been unusually wet this summer. We've had many dry summers on the trot, And now here we are with a heavy rain summer, which means you've got to mow the grass every 4 days, and you've got to do it naked because you're sweating so much. Yeah, not a pleasant time for a creature like me who prefers the chilly weather than the warmth. I can always put on 3 or 4 jumpers, but I can only take off so many layers of skin before it bleeds me out.
I hear you. I tell people all the time, I say, I can put on enough clothes when it's cold, but I might go to jail if it gets too hot.
I'm so stealing that one. I'm going to have to write that down. That's brilliant.
Snatcher fam, welcome.
You got lots of different names in here that I'm not familiar with. So hello to you people. I will try my hardest not to offend anyone, but I'm not making any promises.
Hey, well, give some of the new people, give them a quick, brief synopsis of who Dr. Black is.
He's a fool. He's a fool. I don't know. I probably need a decent resume full of adjectives that I could use. Potentially some of the people that know me in the chat. It'd be an interesting exercise, actually, to see if I could get one word from people who know me well to describe me. Can we do that? Let's do that as a funny exercise to kill 3.5 minutes.
Eccentric. If I knew how to spell it, I would have typed it in, but
I know it's got like 3, maybe 4 C's in it. Eccentric. 3. It's just got 3 C's in it. The rest is a mystery. No. Rids says musical.
Musical.
I may beg to differ on that, you know.
Maybe,
Hello, Vinoxky.
Body musical. You have the flatulent pipes.
The flatulent pipes, like I fart out my mouth. Oh, look, we're getting some good words through. I like it. I don't know what Rose. Sorry. Oh, yeah, she's a Roxanne. What are you asking me if I'm sure about Roxanne? Musical, eccentric, original. I like that one, Deborah. Thank you. I love this maths. Quirky.
Then Ginger says cray. Entertaining, yes, very much so.
She did say genuine first, so potentially she means I'm genuinely crazy. I'll take it. G'day, Bob Kaler popping in. Oh, hang on, Mel Hitters. That's Melvin, isn't it? G'day, Melvin.
That's Melvin.
Yeah.
All things fish. Welcome, sir.
G'day, Mike.
How do
3CA.
Vinoski tanks. Thank y'all for coming through.
Yeah, basically, in response to your question about who I am, I'm just a guy who really just enjoys doing my own thing. I don't really care what's going on in the world. Sometimes I'll pretend I do, and then I'll pretend a little bit more seriously so it seems like I care. But I'll continue to tell people that I don't really care.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm just a dude with a little bit of spare time on my hands. Sometimes my fish get lucky and they get some of that spare time of mine. But sometimes they don't.
Passionate fruit, welcome. So what kind of fish do you keep?
I'm mostly South and Central American cichlids and plecos at the moment. Unfortunately, down here in Australia, we have a pretty slim availability of pleco varieties, which I suppose is also fortunate. It's a bit of a balance, It's unfortunate that I don't have a massive selection, but it's fortunate because the narrow range of plecos that we have down here are pretty spendy. They cost a fair bit of money. But yeah, I was breeding Feste cichlids, but my male Feste died a week and a half ago, which was very unfortunate because I'd raised him from a centimetre little fry. So he's sorry about the glare, but yeah, I've got my female Feste in the tank behind me with my large Oscar, and then I've got a Jaguar and some Rivulatus growing out and a little Feste growing out. Then I've got some swordtails and guppies and cherry shrimp and lots of bristlenose. I was breeding bristlenose like a fury a few years back, but yeah, I may need to sort them something out so that I can breed some more of them. But yeah, I'm interested in doing. I've got, like, now that I've moved my Feste into this big tank behind me, I've got a 3-foot tank over here that's now only got 4 bristlenose in it to clean up all the algae because it does get some sunlight on it. And I'm tempted to get back into my Australian long arm freshwater prawns. They're potentially one of my favorite creatures I've ever kept in an aquarium. They are so much fun. I don't know if anyone here has experience with freshwater prawns, but they really are good fun. Okay. There's a couple of videos on my channel.
Are those the ones with the real slim pinchers?
Yeah, and really long, like their arms with their pincers on are at least the same length as their body.
Okay, yeah, I know the kind you're talking about.
Hence the name, long arm freshwater prawns.
Are the Feste the red and yellow?
Well, they're called red terrors, Mesoheros Feste, and yeah, they are orange and black.
There you go, orange
in color. And one of the most joyous things about Festes, apart from their incredibly murderous attitude, because they are killers, they are brutal fish, but is their ability to change their colors at whim. So they can go from, like, especially my female one, I keep referring to this tank, but I know all you can see is sky and
light.
It's kind of the wrong time of day here to be really enjoying my tank appearance. But yeah, they, like the female, she can go from the most vivid orange and black stripes to just a plain, really faded orange with the iridescent green that a lot of fish get. So to go from that color to that color in the space of seconds is really impressive to watch. And when they're breeding as well, the male is normally flat orange, but during certain stages of their breeding procedure, he will mimic the female's coloring and develop the black barring as well. And that's one of my favorite things about them, is just their amazing array of colors and patterns that they can throw off.
Yeah, during breeding season, that'll be a beautiful crew to look at.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, most of the time you only get to see 1 or 2 of them in a tank at a time, because
unless they're not having it,
unless they're a breeding pair, even siblings, it really is survival of the fittest. When I bought this tank behind me, it came with 26 baby Feste, and I put them all in a 2-foot tank to grow them out a little bit while I set this tank up. And yeah, in no time at all, 1 left, and that happened to be the male one that died. Same. I put a whole bunch of babies in my shrimp tank, which we've now discovered that was very, very much an error on my behalf.
I think they like shrimp.
Yeah, but when I put the baby Feste in there, they would have been lucky to be 1/4 of an inch long, so barely free swimming. I had 3 of them in there, and then all of a sudden they were gone. So I just assumed that they died. And then maybe 2.5 months later, all of a sudden I've got this inch-long baby Feste in there, and my cherry shrimp population was being drastically reduced day by day. And there was hundreds of them in there. And this, baby Feste has amazing orange colors for some reason. Might be something to do with the diet, perhaps. So fingers crossed. I'm feeding him 3 times a day, twice a day with live mosquito wrigglers because I'm farming them. Mental note, people, farming mosquito wrigglers is dangerous. You can get very itchy if you're farming mosquito wrigglers.
Yeah. So I was just about to ask you, how do you control the adults that
any space around my house where I harvest my wrigglers from, I make sure that that water doesn't stay unharvested for more than 3 or 4 days. G'day, Detroit Shrimp and Aquatics. How are you, man?
Detroit Shrimp, what's going on?
And S. G'day, S.
S, how do? Thank y'all for coming through for the visit.
Gotta love a simple YouTube name, isn't it?
S, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's only 25 other simple YouTube names like that. S has jumped on straight away, picked up one of the most popular letters of the alphabet for his name, and now everyone else is left with the dregs.
I picked up my first two viable Parachromus mannequins Jaguar yesterday. I was gifted
one of them. I didn't mention my Jaguar, did I? I had a breeding.
You told you had them.
Yeah, I did have a pair of them, but the female wasn't putting out, so the male murdered her. Ooh. Unfortunately, they are like the Festes. Their sexual relationships are heavily driven by violence, unfortunately. Sorry, and you bought a pair, did you say?
Actually, I was gifted a pair. It was gift during the losses during this winter storm that we had. A guy, I met him. I mean, online. It was, how people we were on there discussing, all the fish. Because when I say fish were dropping, I mean people were losing whole fish rooms.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, "Man, I have a tank full of Jaguar fry, like 2 inches." And that was kind of like a holy grail fish for me, And I'm like, "Man, can I get a few of those?" You're like, "Hey, just come on and get them." I tried it once. I had a buttload of like newborn fry that I found out that I wasn't feeding them quite as often as I possibly needed to, and they just started disappearing. So I was like, I'm gonna hold off on them for a while, and then this guy was like, "Hey, I got you. You come on pick them up." So I did. Yeah, I don't know if they're male or female yet, though, but.
I have a strange feeling that we've got an M that's just popped into the chat, maybe in response to my comment about
fix it.
all 26 letters of the alphabet would be good YouTube names.
I'll do.
But yeah, the Jags are certainly like the Feste as well, that you've sort of, if you're going to raise your fry, you can't just do it in one tank. You've got to sort of spread them out across a few, because as soon as they start getting their teeth, then they start ripping all their siblings apart as well. So they don't care. They don't care who they murder. They just eat everything.
Oh, but so you're telling me I have 3 giraffe cichlids that are maybe 1.5 inches that happen to be in this same 50-gallon tub with those 2 Jaguars. You're telling me that they may not be around much longer.
Well, I mean, it sounds like a fun experiment. I'd certainly giraffes are an African of some sort, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I have a
mean,
lot of hides right now for the size that they are now. I have a lot of hides for them. But if they get another full 1.5, 2 inches on them, it won't work.
I'm always interested in saying, that's bloody hot and sweaty. I've got to get it off my face and my neck. People, leave me alone about my hair already. I wanted to trim my beard off as well today, but one of my sons came and pinched my clippers 2 days ago, and he still hasn't cut his hair. Buddy, hurry up, son. Cut your hair. Give me my clippers back.
If you can have your beard, keep it, man. My job forces me to cut mine because mine used to be long.
I'm keeping this bit. I just need, these fluffy bits off. This is ventilation for my whole body on my neck. Okay. But this salt and pepper bezo at the front's too good to chop off. People just want to touch it. And now we've got a little S.
I reckon that high all looks familiar from that M up here.
If we go long enough, we might end up with 52 new YouTube names, all of the letters of the alphabet, uppercase and lowercase. It's good to have goals.
S, M. Hey y'all, how many letters can we get in here?
I'm gonna guess all the letters, depending on how dedicated people are.
Hey, I'm gonna ask you, since like, hey, Foxy Fish, hello, ma'am, hello, Natural Aquarium. I'm gonna ask you a question that's coming. It's gonna be coming out of left field.
You're asking me the question?
I'm asking you the question.
I suppose that's why I'm here, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Hey, this one, I've been waiting on this one. I have a
man, we booked this back in October last year. We first spoke about it. And then we finally got to the time when we were due to do it, and the whole
power grid.
No, it was the whole East Coast internet. Yeah, the whole East Coast of Australia went down for like 17 hours, and it just happened to be around the time that we were supposed to do this thing.
Yeah, so all day we're like, man, it might hold on. No. Oh. Hey,
and I was a little bit concerned too, because the like the rainy weather the last few days has been a little bit stormy, and I was thinking, here we go. I'm going to have blackouts again. But thankfully the weather has been kind today, and here we are. This
was meant to be. This was meant to be. Now the question: I have an old YouTube channel. I probably had maybe 10 years where it was all about me working out, lifting big weights, and all of this. I've changed it. It is now called Bigfoot-ish. Yowie, your thoughts?
You've called your channel Bigfoot-ish Yowie.
No, just Bigfoot-ish. That's the channel. So you see what direction it's going.
You want my thoughts on the Yowie?
Your thoughts on the Yowie? Fact, fiction, whatever.
Well, I mean, it'd be awesome, good fun to say fact and stuff, but I really think that if our Bigfoots and our Yetis, I suppose Sasquatch and Bigfoot are the same thing. Yowie is along the same point. We got an A now. We should be creating a list and ticking off the letters as they come in. But I just assume that there's not enough landscape out there for these things to maintain an adequate gene pool. So if say for example, let's use the Pacific Northwest of the US, that's supposed to be like one of the main stomping grounds of the Sasquatch, right? Bigfoot up around in the bush around Washington State and Oregon and all that. lots of Bigfoot activity up there, even though that's
Yeah.
a massive landscape. I don't really think you'd be able to have enough individual specimens to maintain a volatile gene pool. Volatile? Viable gene.
There you go.
Yeah. In fact, it probably would be a volatile gene pool. And I think we'd be getting a lot of, hey, we've got a B now. We should be doing this. Someone
Hello,
start
B.
making a list. I'm too busy talking to make a list. I have a strange feeling that we'd by now be seeing whether they be Yetis or Sasquatch or Yowies. I believe. Oh, Corvus is here, and I meant to send him before that I was going to be doing this, but he showed up anyway. Nice one, Jolie.
Corvus, what's happening?
I believe that it's probably because I mentioned the Pacific Northwest. Every time I mention the Pacific Northwest, Joel shows up. It's just this sixth sense he's got.
The signal goes off.
Yeah, I just think that with the amount of now we've got a C. I hope someone's on that list. Get on that list, someone. Yeah, I think that we'd be looking at a really potentially, let me preface this by saying, when families start breeding within the family and you get a few interesting kickbacks in the genes and stuff, I reckon there'd be a fair chance that there'd be some really, really militant Sasquatch and Yowies out there that would be a little bit lacking upstairs, and potentially their mum and dad might be brother and sister, so they might forget how to hide so well. So yeah, I think there's not enough land left for them to breed an adequate gene pool, and yeah, potentially if there was Sasquatch and stuff out there and Yowies, we'd be seeing them a lot more because they'd be, running into trees and tripping over and stumbling into McDonald's car parks and stuff, not really knowing where they are.
Stealing cars, yeah. And
because they're not exactly going to be the strength of genetic examples that their ancestors were.
Yeah, I was waiting on asking you because basically my channel, I'm gonna do live streams, but there's just gonna be people coming in telling their stories, and I'm not questioning them on their veracity, but hey, we can be entertained. Stories passed on from grandparents, from cultural stories, things of that nature. Yeah, I really enjoy them.
Oh, I reckon, potentially 2 or 3 generations ago, we might have seen some, pardon me, creatures that might have been like that. But I think by now their gene pool's got to be wrecked.
Yeah, they would have to be, because how in the world can they? That's my biggest thing. Is how can they move around? As huge as they are, they're moving around and keeping a gene pool strong, and nobody's seeing them. You think by now they would be taking the city bus, something, because you have to see them.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard to fathom that they'd still be intact. But who's to say? It really is one of those things that no one's got evidence for or against, really. Even all of the Bigfoot shows that I've watched, none of them are ever really they never really seal it and say yes for sure. They're always left up in the air, and potentially that's, like I said, you inbreed, you're gonna go a little bit wrong upstairs, aren't you?
Right.
So the ones that are getting
Holly, you can come on one day.
The ones that are getting seen by people in their grainy videos are probably the ones that are a little bit dopey upstairs and tripping over sticks as they're trying to walk quietly through the woods. Oh, crikey, I'm struggling to read that. I might need my glasses back on. dump in some grub. I like the way you think, Natural Aquariums.
Yeah,
How
Danik
did
and
we
I.
get onto that? Oh, you were asking me about
Yeah,
yowies.
I was waiting on to ask you about the Yowie and how do you feel about it? Because the thing is here the subject, or should I say it like this? Let's start the other direction. Um, Countries outside of here and cultures have a tendency to think of them more of existing, whereas here it's like I don't even know how to describe. You have so many people seeing them or saying they see them, but it's more like a cartoon superhero type of thing here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a real tricky situation because you know, having had experience with humans and hallucinations, sometimes people's belief of what their brain is creating visually for them is just that vivid that there's no convincing them otherwise of what they've seen. So, you know,
Yeah. Yeah, I
essentially,
know what you're saying.
in this day and age, you can't really afford to say, "Oh no, you just saw a dog begging for some cheese," or you just saw a bear on its hind legs, or whatever the other ones are. That they, this letter stuff's getting out of control. um, yeah, it's very difficult to you're not really allowed to tell people nowadays that if they said they saw something, you tell them no, you didn't. You're asking for trouble, pretty much, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm in the category of I have been interested in it in the subject for so long that I want it to be true. So I'm always listening and watching stuff, but we always seem to be in that same revolving wheel. You know, we never get outside of the same amount of information. And I'm
You're
like,
referring to the Bigfoot storyline, basically, yeah.
yeah, the researchers and whatnot. I'm like, they stay in that same cycle, that same series. So I'm like, come on, somebody jump outside of that.
There's a oh, nice. Um, sorry, a squirrel. I mean, birds. Um, there is an Australian-made animation show, very cheaply done, so a lot of people don't give it credit, called The Big Les Show. Um, they're somewhere hidden in the 3 or 4 seasons of it. They give a really good background for where Sasquatch comes from. Definitely worth watching if you're a Sasquatch enthusiast, just to get a little bit of a background on the Sasquatch. It's a little bit crude. It's like I said, it's roughly animated. It's all animated in Microsoft Paint. So, there's an adventurous animator. Yeah, sorry, Holly. Like I said, it's very difficult to say. You just can't tell people that they didn't see what they saw because I wasn't there. Oh, nice! Two, count it, 2 spangled drongos have just landed on my bird bath.
And Holly, we're gonna have to hook up, man. So to do a little messengering back and forth.
Well, if you guys are interested in and totes believing in your Sasquatch stuff, get into the Big Les show. Sasquatch
Big
is a very
LEZ.
important character in that show, and I kind of like their explanation about where the Sasquatch is from.
Because I'm into the whole. I mean, people have like let's say the dog man and things of that nature. Stuff that okay, Bigfoot from how it's described, okay, could have been, possibly still could be. But dog man, we talking about part part human, part canine. I mean, genetically, impossible, but
Yeah.
people say they see them.
Bigfoot's certainly much more believable. People posit that it might be just Australopithecus giganticus, which was a species of primate and a human ancestor. Sorry for creationists. A human ancestor that lived alongside of humans, probably less than 100,000 years ago. So, there's certainly an inkling of possibility that there could still be some out there. But like I say, my concern would be that their gene pool would be so diminished because of their loss of habitat and stuff that all we might have left might be not the best physical specimens of them. Which, potentially also might mean that we'll have more sightings in the near future because they're going to be a little bit stupider, aren't they? So they'll come out of the bush looking for a slice of Chicago pizza or something. No, hang on. Chicago's too far away from the Pacific Midwest, isn't it? That's a long walk, Sasquatch. Put your shoes on. But yeah.
But yeah, Danikin, man, I can remember my National Geographic days when I was a early teenager, where they were finding tribes, running, going over with airplanes and, taking pictures of these tribes that are still, living off the grid. Which, where are they now? It's like they don't exist anymore either, right?
Hmm. But yeah, and you've got things like what's your Mexican one, the chupacabra?
Chupacabra, yeah, all of that.
But who's to say that's not a small primate that's just survived and done well? From all reports, it could be a primate. But yeah, unfortunately, I think chupacabras goes along with the Gremlins type movie. It might be a little bit fictitious. I've certainly got more belief in Bigfoot, Sasquatch than a chupacabra or a dogman and stuff.
They have Mothman, yeah, right. Hey, and I'm gonna show you something. I guess what kind of keeps me fueled. There was I'm from a little town outside of Houston, Texas.
Hi. All right.
Houston, what is it? Third largest city in the United States. I mean, it's little bitty town outside of Houston. Now, a guy that used to be a manager of mine at a plant that I worked at. I was looking at one of those shows like Beyond Belief or something like that. I mean, we talking about a national syndicated television show. I'm just sitting at home watching this show. My old manager from this little town that I live in pops up on this show telling a story about the Mothman from him and his little brother growing up, an experience they had. And he lived in, I want to say Michigan or somewhere growing up. Something, again, that I didn't even know. But he's in this little town with me, and he pops up on this national syndicated TV show talking about a Mothman. So it's like, how did they find you? How did you end up on here? And the Mothman, that's a far-fetched one too.
And was the Mothman of myth that people speak about, is he the same dude that movie was based on? Or was that like a different imaginary? Oh, we're up to V in the letters already. Well done, people. I like it.
They rattled off about 6 altogether earlier to get them out of the way.
Because I do remember seeing that Mothman movie.
Was he like a superhero? Was that Mothman? I don't know if that was the same one.
I think he was like an anti-superhero, yeah. But I think Roe is confirming that potentially the movie was based on the Mothman that people are familiar with. Crikey, who's been? I'm super keen to find out if it's just been one person responsible for the letters, or if it's been, you know, a team of letter deliverers.
Because like
Mothra was
V and W are awfully close right here in the chat for it to be. Well, I can't say for it to be one person because it still could be.
Well, yeah, good point. That would take some very, very thorough pre-planning, wouldn't it? You go, team. This is like a perfect indication of Fish Fam dedication to a cause. I put it out there. I said, let's get on this cause, people, and they jumped. They went for
Jumped on it. Took off.
So kudos to you. A big bucket of kudos in the post to all of those who took part. And we're not even at X or Y or Z yet. Oh shit! There we go. A Y's popped up. And why did they leave X out?
Why not go all the? Hey, Y's already up. You can't take that one.
So. I know this is your stream and you're supposed to be asking me questions.
No, it's open.
But,
it's open.
Can I turn the tables on you and probe you for a minute?
Yes, you can.
Why did you leave the Sugar Hill Gang?
Well, you know, in those days.
Can I preface this with, has anyone asked you previously about your connection with the Sugar Hill Gang?
Yes, Derek, Dead Fred, he was one. Fish Snatcher. See, back then in those days, you know, as a group, you couldn't make a lot of money. You know, you just couldn't do it. So you had to go solo, and I just wasn't talented enough to be the lead man. So I had to find something else to do. So I turned to YouTube.
Wow.
Not that it's paying any bills either, but
I'm a little bit confused now, because potentially now I kind of believe that you might have been the actual Big Bank Hank.
Hip hop, hip it to the hip and hop. You don't stop and rock it to the bang bang boogie, the up chocolate boogie, to the rhythm of the boogity beat. Oh, what?
Shit. Now I just don't know. I mean, I know what Big Bank Hank's apparent real name is, and it doesn't match up with yours. But now that you've done all that stuff, maybe. Now I just don't know.
Hey, well, my real name doesn't line up either. It's Garrett.
Yeah, well, that wasn't Big Bang Hank's real name, was it?
No, it wasn't. Jeffrey Watts, you in the house?
What's that?
No, Jeffrey Watts. I see Mel hollering at Jeffrey Watts. Streetwise.
Oh, and lowercase a is here.
Lowercase a that made it in.
Awesome to have you here, lowercase a. Thanks for turning up out of the blue like that. So in essence, how's Wonder Mike and Master G going since your departure?
I don't know. I hadn't heard from them, you know. They big time me.
Hopefully everyone in the chat gets the reference from the past that I'm only assuming that your name, Big Tank Hank, is 99.9% based on Big Bank Hank from the Sugar Hill Gang. And I'm waiting now for the moment where you tell me, no, it's about this instead. But if it's homage to Big Bank Hank, all of my research has not been done in vain.
No, actually, it was, you know, I had big tanks with little fish in them. And I'm like, hey, I tried this name. I tried that name. What rhymes? Big Tank, Big Bang Hank, Big Tank Hank. Hey, let me try that. So yeah, it wasn't really.
Oh, so you weren't even listening to Sugar Hill Gang. You weren't even familiar with their music to generate that name.
No, I knew him. I knew him very well, but yeah, I knew him very well. But yeah, no, it was just it rhymed, and it seemed like it would work. It did work though. It worked. I
Sure did.
mean, when I changed it, every time I would show up in a stream in the chat, somebody would say something about it. Man, I really like that. It's catchy, and it took off from that. And I'm glad I did.
I thought you were going to say people were coming into the chat saying hippity hop and stuff like that.
No, I don't think they knew who the Sugar Hill Gang was either. Though.
Yeah, it's a tidy link in because it's not, you know, people might remember the Sugar Hill Gang, but they might not necessarily have remembered that it was, you know, Big Bank Hank and Wonder Mike and Master G as well. So, you know, yeah, I like it. I like the
Hey
subtle.
y'all, I want y'all to look it up on YouTube. That was when rap first jumped out into the mainstream. There were people rapping before them, but they actually made hip hop and rap popular to the masses.
Yeah, apparently the first rap track that made it to the top 40 was the Rapper's Delight song, and then never again did they broach the top 40 in the States. But apparently, a couple of their other tracks after Rapper's Delight were quite popular in Europe, Sweden, and somewhere else over there.
They had one. Was it Superman? Where they told a story about one of them being like a neighborhood, like Superman in the neighborhood. But I think he was like a pimp. But he was like Superman, you know, he had this magic, you know, he could change into his outfit and
a vigilante pimp. There's a combination that's just screaming out for a comic book to be made.
Hey, nothing is new under the sun. I bet it's out there somewhere.
Yeah, there's only 7 ideas.
Super pimp. That's how you know the hook would go.
With
lowercase g.
Yeah, we've made it to lowercase g.
F-E-D.
I can only hope that this absolutely brilliant idea has garnered more viewers for the show.
Right? Hey, all of those letter people, make sure y'all hit the like button.
Each time you come in. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Like and subscribe.
For real.
And then while you've got your alphabet names open as well, you know, go over to my channel and subscribe to mine too. I could do with 52 new subscribers. Oh,
there
hang on.
You go.
51 because I think S has already subscribed to me. So A, B, C, D, E, and all your other mates and your lowercase mates, subscribe to us both.
Take the trip over. Booty tang.
So were you in saying that now that we've got the Sugar Hill Gang out, were you a fan of what they were doing at the time, or were you too old by then, or was it right at the prime of your pop music life? I'm guessing by
right at the prime.
So you would have been loving the Sugar Hill Gang, or were they were okay? They weren't toileted by the black community or anything for what they were doing?
No, we loved them. You know, I had a 45, you know, I used to play and, you know, play it to death. Yeah, no, we loved them. They were it. Because see, especially where I was from, if you were from the East Coast, New York, Philadelphia area, they already knew what rap was. Me being in Texas, you know, Sugar Hill Gang show up. Oh my God, what is? Oh man, these guys, you know. And then after that, we started getting the history, and Sugar Hill Gang opened the doors for those guys that were already doing it before them, who
Sure.
actually ended up possibly becoming more popular, you know, because now more people knew about them. They're more talented and all of that. But yeah, we enjoyed the bubble gum, you know, while it lasted.
Yeah, enjoy the bubblegum while it lasts. See you, Roth. Good luck. I should, what was the
Good night, Ro.
I've got to write enjoy the bubble gum while it lasts. I've got to write that down as well. I so have to use that. But what was the other one I said I was stealing off you?
Man, what was it? What were we talking about?
God. Because yeah, I can't plagiarize it if I can't remember it.
Oh, it was where I was. Oh, that scratch on the tank. Where did that come from? Oh no, that's glue. It was. I could always put on enough clothes when it's cold, but I'd go to jail if it got too hot.
Yeah. Perfect.
Rose's gonna be gone till Monday.
Shorthand is impressive. Bob and Roe catching up on Monday. Woot! Make sure you get his good stuff, Roe.
Medul, you can use it. You can use it. Hey, you better be Blackie to the trademark though.
Pardon me. What did you say to him? He what?
Now you said he was gonna steal it. I said you can use it, but you better be Blackie to the trademark.
Ah. Yeah, I'm not trademarking anything I steal. That's traceable. They'll find out it was me.
Hey, that's like people having to buy back or to sue. You know, once they make it big for their own name, like somebody just go out and buy it. Like, how am I gonna go to court over my own name? Nobody else has a name but me, but I'm gonna go to court because you bought it. The rights to my name.
Chubby Guppy, that's so true. So many times I stir in the middle of the night and I've got this awesome paragraph or two that I could write down for my stand-up act, and I go, I couldn't be bothered writing it down. I'll remember that in the morning. Nah. I remember nothing from when I lay down on my bed at night to when I wake up in the morning. Nothing. Lowercase, we're up to O. I am super loving your dedication to the cause.
Color change. I mean, it's back to back right here.
Nah, GRB. Please note the number down the bottom, GRB. I know it does. It kind of does have the color of a 4X gold can. Yeah, exactly here, Fishy. Could not agree more. Unfortunately, I agree, but I don't do what I agree with. I'm sure I've left so much awesome comedy at the side of my bed at night because I've not written it down. I've just gone out the side of my bed.
Hey, yeah, y'all, we only got 7 likes. How is that possible? Just 7? We've averaged 27 to 30 people all evening. How is it just 7 likes? Come on.
Probably something to do with me.
Like train. Come on.
Not many people like me. I will say that. I was often wondered to myself, why on earth does Big Tank Hank want me on his stream? No one likes the shit that comes out of my mouth. Oh, sorry, the nonsense that comes out of my mouth.
You're just so interested, man. You know.
Well, I'm glad someone thinks so. I mean, I do this with my hair for the people. No, it's not for the people at all. It's for me. I don't want my neck to sweat. Oh, I'm so selfish. I don't care. People, humans, you're all the same. Isn't that's such a, oh, look out, we're up to lowercase t for totally. It's such a blanket response. It's so easy for a person to say they don't care, but no one really doesn't care, do they?
No, you care about something.
Yeah.
Or you'd have no opinion about anything.
Oh, I like what lowercase is doing. Lowercase is playing with the alphabet now. I mean, almost towards the end, and lowercase decides to start trying to do a little bit funny stuff.
Let's blame the letters, which that's your 52. But let's blame the letters if there's not enough. All those letters, unless it's the same person, let me find out.
V-necks for the win. I was trying to work out what that comment meant, and then I realized it was lowercase v. No, I absolutely love it when lowercase v comes into my streams and slings a bit of nonsense and dishes a few facts where required. Lowercase v is one of my personal favorites.
Double U.
Yeah, GRB. I think there is potentially something in let's just call the individual lowercase for now, that they potentially don't want to touch the X. They don't want to earn themselves an X rating by using that letter. I don't think it was a mere oversight. Otherwise, we would have had one back by now. And then it comes. That's good to see.
Hey, Blackie, question. Man,
question.
Where is Thirsty Rabbit? Man, I haven't seen Thirsty Rabbit anywhere.
Thirsty's been, pretty sporadic videos here and there. But Thirsty's definitely the kind of dude that goes through phases of where life gives him the space to be able to do some YouTube videos, and then sometimes life doesn't really give him that space or ability to pump out constant videos. And so he's still around. He's well.
Okay.
He's alive, which is good.
Very good.
But I think we all go through it really, where sometimes if if our subject matter is our fish room, and our fish room might not be giving us everything we need from it, then it's hard to film that and share it with people if it's not really doing what it's supposed to do for you in your heart and your brain space.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
But good reminder also is that I was actually due to message him and touch base and make sure he is cool. So if I'd have known you were going to ask that question, I would have spoken to him prior and got an update.
Yeah, because man, he was, when I first started streaming, he would pop in on streams. Every time I uploaded a video, he was going to be in the comments. I don't care if the video was 2 seconds, he was going to come in there. So, after a while, I'm like, man, I haven't seen Thirsty in it. It stuck out to me. It was obvious.
Well, I see you, Danican. Kenny's heading out. I potentially...
Thank you for coming through, Danican. Kenny E, thank you, sir.
The real S is back. I potentially wouldn't even have a YouTube channel without Thirsty Rabbit, because he was potentially one of the first Australian channels that I saw And I started dropping comments on his videos, and he'd reply back to me. And then he encouraged me to, because we were breeding the same fish at the time, and he encouraged me to put a couple of little videos up on the YouTube so that he could see what my fish were like and stuff. And the rest is history, basically. I'm fairly certain that I would not have even bothered about doing any YouTube unless Thirsty Rabbit was there going, pop up some videos. You've got fish in tanks. People will watch it. Do it. So, always got respect for Thirsty for that. Thirsty, him and his family came and stopped here at my joint for a couple of days and hung out, and we did some videos and a live stream that I may have made that live stream private because we might have done some lots of language and smoking dope and stuff on it. I'm not sure. We might have done some interesting things on that stream. I'll have to look back on that because it was pretty funny. I seem to remember it was pretty funny, but I was drunk. So, people's interpretation of comedy can be a little bit different when they're under the influence.
During that time, right?
Yeah. I may... no, I'm going to look into that. Good remindering. I'll put that in my notes as well.
Right.
But yeah, I know. I certainly... I mean, in my history of random live streams and stuff, there's certainly been quite a few moments where I've gone back the day after and gone, I don't think that's for public consumption. I might make that one private.
Jeffrey, please do, sir. Please do.
Oh, what you got, Jeffrey? What's in your tanks? Oh, he probably doesn't want to say because he wants you to have the exclusive. Oh, but we're on your channel. It's still exclusive.
That's a buddy of mine down here, and I've been telling him, I'm like, man, why don't you, post a video? No, he's not ready yet. He's not ready yet.
What's he?
He's a fish guy. He has quite a bit. He's giving me some carbon really shrimp, peacock gudgeons. He's got some shellies. Yeah,
peacock gudgeons. How are you getting them over there? They're an Australian, right?
Are they?
I think so. I could be wrong.
Well, hey.
I thought most gudgeons were Australian fish.
You can get anything over here,
Yeah. There's some awesome Australian gudgeons that should be regular. Tank inhabitants, but for some reason they're just there's not enough promotion for some of our Australian gudgeons. You get the Empire gudgeons, and actually, do you guys get purple spotted gudgeons in the States? Because that's certainly they're a very impressive.
Somebody speak up in the chat. Do we get? Here we go.
Oh, nice. And you confirm that Jeffrey Watts is stateside, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, those purple spotted gudgeons are very impressive looking fish. Not necessarily appropriate for a community tank, but still a very, very impressive fish. They're kind of like a subtle version of a snakehead, I reckon. Maybe Jeffrey can attest to that.
Hey, you saying it like that, you're gonna make them super popular over here then.
Yeah, they're because they're the same kind of. I think they're even related to the channers, the snakeheads. I think gudgeons are. I think they're in the same family or the same genre. But yeah, I'd love to have a crack at purple spots myself. I can drive 3 hours north and spend a day trying to catch them in the local rivers and then potentially get arrested and put in jail for doing it. But very, 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 very pretty fish. But yeah, like I said, they're not necessarily one for a community tank. I think they're quite voracious feeders.
Okay. About how big do they get?
I think they're about 9 inches, something like that. They get a fair size.
Okay.
And a fair bit of meat to them. And also, little known fact about a lot of the gudgeon species is, there we go, Jeffrey is confirming that they are voracious feeders. A lot of the gudgeon species are very good climbers. Like if they want to go upriver and they meet a waterfall or something, they're actually quite good at going, using their pectoral fins to climb a vertical wall. Oh, Mrids, you shouldn't have told us. It was so much.
Hey, was it really you, or you just taking credit?
I still reckon there was more than one player involved. But I appreciate the effort, Mrids, if it was all you. Wouldn't let you do X. Probably because YouTube doesn't want X-rated channels. But hang on. One of our first people in the chat was so-and-so's explicit channel. So they're okay
Dawson's.
with explicit channels.
Yeah, the Dawson's
channels.
Explicit channel. Yeah.
Yeah. Big difference between explicit and X, Mrids.
But
no one wants
than,
X content.
They'll look better than Facebook. I remember somebody had this crazy rude post. So I went in the comments and I typed my own rude word. Then I was like, no, don't send it. But I didn't have to send it. Facebook picked it up in the chat. Then I was about to send it and threatened me with Facebook jail. Put me on hiatus. And I'm like, I didn't even send it. What is this?
Wow. So that your threat came up before you'd even sent it?
Yes, I didn't even send it. And it was like, hey, you're on probation. Oh, probation? This is a warning. I'm like, warning? What are you doing? At least let me send it.
let at least one person see it before I get in trouble for it.
Yeah, wow. let that person get it and then do me. I'm fine. You go get me before I even send it. Come on, man. It's not like I tried to sell fish on there or something.
Technology's moving too fast.
Too fast. Jay, welcome.
There's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Hey, been, Jay? Good to see you, mate. I don't know if you're familiar with my terminology, but I may need to go and wrestle a crocodile for 24 seconds or so.
Was that use the restroom?
That's a really nice way of putting it. But yeah, I need to empty so I can refill.
Gotcha.
Give me like 32 seconds max.
Gotcha. Yeah, GRB. If I take them off, the reflection goes away, but I can't read nothing in the chat. So it harasses me through the entire stream looking at those rings, but I won't be able to see nothing in the chat. Oh, I hate it. Medul, thank you for coming through tonight. Hey, get you some good rest. Does it look like alien eyes? Well, I could be on my own show as an alien telling stories. Yeah, Jeffrey, it's time. Good night, Fat Man Aquatics. Yeah, we all need to get together. All the Texas people, we need to have our own meetup. I mean, especially for content creators. I mean, what's better than us all knowing each other and we can create content together, bring back the old days of the collabs, when people were less selfish. Did I say selfish? My fault.
Good night, Rids. Oh, and Fat Man. Good night, Fat Man. Oh, that's one thing I was going to check on too. I'm like, my name on YouTube, as shown on screen, is Dr. Black 66.
Right.
And the last time I looked, I think I was approaching 666 subscribers. That would be a pretty impressive milestone to beat. I've got 9 to go, but I want to really get some choice screenshots when I get there.
We're gonna try to shoot you past it. We're gonna try to shoot you past it so you don't stop there.
So anyone that's not subscribed to me, at least, subscribe, and just, if you don't like it, unsubscribe in like 2 weeks' time or something, once I've sat on 666 for a little while. And then I'll go back to not caring. That's right. Keep forgetting that GRB and my drinking schedules should not necessarily be the same, because he is 3 hours behind me on the clock, being on the opposite side of the country to me.
Oh, that's like here when you're on the West Coast, there's a 2-hour difference. On the East Coast, there's a 1-hour difference.
No,
I don't think we hit 3. Well, Hawaii.
Oh yeah, Hawaii's
is like 4.
Hawaii's the last time on the clock for the day, aren't they? They were like one of the last hours, like they're the latest people before tomorrow.
Yeah, I think so. Because there's the link. There's a link. Thank you, Foxy's Fish.
Oh, thanks, Foxy. Well done. Yeah, actually, that does intrigue me. What is the difference between Eastern and Pacific time in the States? You said it's only 2 hours.
It's 1 hour Eastern, which is East Coast. It's 1 hour difference. So my live starts at 11:30 there. In California, it's 2 hours before us. So it'll be what, 8:30 in California? And HC Aqua, I noticed that HC Aqua I think it would be Anthony's Fishy Friends at midnight-ish. So 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning here. And HC Aqua will be like having supper or something, Yeah, my wife, she was like, my wife finished dinner. And I'm like, dinner? How are you eating dinner? I mean, every day. Because I wasn't realizing how much time, sooner it was.
I'd be so keen to live in Hawaii if they weren't so far behind the rest of the world. Time-wise.
Gotcha. Anyone of dry flowers are okay for a tank.
Oh, lilac from the yard. Ooh. That's a real interesting one. I've not heard of using flowers in an aquarium. I would be, I guess, most concerned about the chemical compounds in the colors.
And even the pH, because of the breaking down of the flowers, with them not being hard, Lazy Bulldog, welcome.
Oh, thanks, Lazy Bulldog. 660. Woohoo. Got to be careful what you ask for, I guess.
Just might get it.
I suppose like any organic matter in your tank, if you've got excessive organic stuff, if you're still maintaining fairly regular water changes, then you're probably diluting any issues that stuff like that might cause. So, you know, use it, do your regular water changes. If you you know, if you notice some nasty stuff happening, then potentially pull them out. But yeah, like Foxy says, that was my concern, is that I'm pretty sure in coloured flower petals there's certain oils, because that's what they get out. They distill petals down for what do they call them? Esters or attars, concentrated flower, stinky stuff that they use in perfumes and whatnot. So potentially there might be some oils that leach into your water, but also potentially they might be at such a minute concentration that it might not make a difference. Yeah, like GRB says, fermentation with sugars in the flour also pretty weak though. So yeah, unless you're piling buckets and buckets of pretty petals in, you're probably pretty safe with regular water changes.
Right.
Or good aeration as well. If you've got a good solid bubbler going, then that's going to enable your gaseous exchange at the surface and also break down any oils that float to the surface. Oh my God, that actually sounded like proper technical, sensible advice.
Hey, didn't it though? Didn't it?
Who is this guy?
And it happened on my stream. Thank you.
There's a first. If you want to go back and watch the 395 hours of my live streams, there will never be as sensible advice as that. I mean,
395 hours.
I just pulled the number out of my ass.
Oh, okay, 395 hours. Hey, I was like, man, could I run that that playlist?
I've done a few 8-hour ones. So I would imagine that 300 probably wouldn't be too far off the mark. Oh, you better, Natural. You better. Jeez. God, now that I've put that out there, am I going to have to monitor it? No, I'm just going to wait till the end, see where we get to. If I miss it, then I'll just do a video. Oh, I missed 666 subscribers. I don't get to summon the devil now.
You have to do a giveaway.
I'll give what?
A giveaway.
Give what? I don't understand. I don't know this word. This word is foreign to me. Fishy Biz has made it. Who's this Fishy Biz fella?
What's going on, man? What's going on? You came in the back door. What's cracking?
Oh, sure did. That's how I met Fishy Biz. He came in my back door.
Oh. Let's go.
Oh, Fishy Biz. Me and Fishy Biz have been trying to do this collab for about 2 years now. Shit, I don't know if it's ever going to happen. I really want to. We've still got to do it, Fishy Biz, whether you like it or not. He keeps telling me no. He keeps telling me, stop sending me your nonsense, Blackie. I'm not doing it.
Yep.
He's going to have a pretty different response to that after what I said. Because, yeah, I've not actually said that to him. I've sent him some stuff, and we were going to do, like, do you know Fishy Biz and my history? Hey. We
Y'all outside.
Well, yeah, that's a yowie. That's fierce yowie. Should see this yowie. If I can grab it, I'll put it on camera. But beast of a thing. I don't know what stream was it on, Fishy Biz. We did like a pardon me. We did a very, very loosely called rap battle, me and Fishy Biz. Was it just on Aquamate's stream, or was it on Dr. Thirsty Mate when we used to do that one? Oh, calm down, Paddy. I do not. I'm trying to eliminate that by picking my nose and stuff all stream. Charm. Ugh. Yeah, I think, Aquamates. It was on Aquamates. I think it might have been a Dr. Thirsty Mate stream, but me and Fishy Biz had this rap battle teed up for, oh, God. I think we were teed up for over a month or something to, work on material and whatnot. And I think both of us came in so unprepared and useless. It was ridiculous. But, we're both confident young men. I use the term young advisedly. So we both pushed through and had some fun with it. And, many people would say that I won that rap battle that day. But I definitely, I believe I conceded defeat to Fishy Biz because my shit was pretty useless and I'm not much of a rapper. But yeah, then, so on the flip side of that, then Fishy Biz and I decided that we should do like some rap videos where we actually do some, some fishy kind of rap stuff together. So I sent Fishy Biz some beats and whatnot because I've got a son. He's like a hip hop producer. He's getting a bit of a name at the moment, doing his beats and stuff. And I thank everyone who's subscribed to his channel, etc. Did I, Paddy? Paddy's making stuff up, I think. What did I freestyle on my last stream? That was 8 hours of stuff that I can barely remember, Paddy. So yeah, Fishy Biz and I decided to do some stuff. I sent him some beats, and then I think we both went cold. Yeah, calm down,
Battle
Jeffrey.
with plagiarism.
You got to earn your stripes first, Jeffrey. You got to go on a live stream first and have a battle before you can do some battles. Oh, hang on. I just said that, didn't I? All right. I guess Fishy Biz, we got to go and battle Jeffrey Watts on Jeffrey Watts' next live stream.
It'll probably be on mine. Hey, yeah, we can do that. We'll bring everybody up on mine and we'll have a battle. I'll be the DJ.
G'day, Mark. Big Ease is here. Hello. How are you, dude?
Big Easy, what's going on?
So yeah, oh sorry, I think I just bumped my microphone and it might have went boom. So yeah, Fishy Biz and me still have to get our asses into gear and get some tracks together because potentially with Fishy Biz's skills and my dashing good looks, we could probably sell some records.
Hey, that's the way they do it. Get your flashy car and a nice suit, some chains.
Hopefully, Fishy Biz is TikToking because apparently that's if you want to get into rap, you've got a TikTok or some shit. So if you're not TikToking, you're not going to sell records.
Oh no. Well, I'm gonna retire before I start because I can't TikTok it.
Yeah, how dodgy would Sugar Hill Gang be if they had to rely on TikTok nowadays?
No.
They'd really want to have bought some new trousers, wouldn't they?
Right. Hey, the music they had back then could only work for McDonald's and Burger King commercials now.
Yeah. It was a really interesting era, wasn't it? Because they came sort of out of the arse end of the disco era, and the Motown Records and all of that Detroit scene was trying to make new stuff because they knew disco was on the downlay, the sliding downhill, and it was like all of these Detroit kind of people were trying to make some poppy stuff, and then it was New York that came through with the goods.
Tank Top Tropics, is that one tank behind? Yeah, it's 120 long with a ring light in the middle of it.
Jay's bedroom. I'd probably do myself a mischief if I tried to do any breakdancing. Already when I was about, I want to say I was still in primary school, which is like pre-high school, so grades 1 to 6 in Australia. I was probably grade 5 or grade 6, so maybe 10 or 11 years old. And I did, me and a friend of mine were in a classroom with these two girls, and we're obviously trying to impress the girls and be cool. And I thought I'd do, where you walk a few steps and then you spin around and you do a caterpillar.
Ah!
Like you're walking this way, but you turn around all of a sudden and do a 180 and do the caterpillar. When I did that, the first part of my body to make impact with the floor was my lower jaw, and I chipped a tooth. And it's like, I don't think I've got the goods for a breakdancing. I better quit now. And the funny thing about it, yeah, I didn't want to break anything else other than just a little bit of tooth. But the funny thing, I don't even know if I've even told anyone about this. But
exclusive.
I lied, absolutely flat out lied to my family about how I chipped my tooth. And it was like the most feeble lie. I tripped over this chair and I fell onto a tree root and it broke my tooth.
The tree root.
I didn't want to say. I was trying to impress a girl with my awesome worm skills. Yeah. I'm glad I could share this level of shame with you people today. Thank you for enjoying my deep dark.
All respect.
Oh, Paddy, don't do back cracking. Do cat cow. Cat cow is the best advice for back cracking. Cat cow being yoga terms, if you're not familiar with yoga.
I had to do a lot of those in therapy.
Oh, cat cow is so good for back problems. If anyone's got issues with their back, freaking Google. I nearly didn't say freaking. Google up cat cow yoga, and you'll get this really good pose and movement. That's great for lower back pain, especially if you've got like disc issues and stuff like that, like I've had. Cat cow is good, and planking, but this is not a physical therapy channel.
We receive it all.
But it's good to share information.
Oh, we receive it all. If it can help, we're here for the people.
Exactly. Does anyone? I mean, I do. I've got a D and an R in front of my name. Has anyone else got medical questions that I might be able to offer surreptitious advice to? Hey, this could be a segment. This could be a segment on Big Tank Hank's stream. Big Tank Hank offers medical advice based on Blackie's advice.
Just don't sue me. Some of these
Asterisk.
thoughts, some of these thoughts are not shared by the owner of the channel or the stream.
I will always preface any medical advice with don't freaking listen to me. I'm not a real doctor. I just pretend. Or no experience, but I'll have a look at it for you. Generally, that's just for my gynecological patients. Gynecological.
Gynecological.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that back cracking, Paddy. No one needs crack in their back.
You were fighting a bear while tripping over a chair, right?
I just read that and I got confused by that. Are they talking to me or you or someone in the chat?
That was when you chipped your tooth.
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, sure, I'd love to perpetuate the lie and elongate the myth, as it were. But yeah, I mean, I did say, you know, when you do those old Fred Astaire moves where you step up on a chair and walk it onto the ground, so many of them I've done without breaking a tooth. And so many reptiles I've fought or wrestled without breaking a tooth. So many sports matches I've been involved in without breaking a tooth. But the first time I go and try and impress a girl with some dance moves, those bloody girls and their desire to be impressed with dance moves bust my freaking teeth.
Kevin Leon, welcome.
G'day, Kevin.
MTA?
Yeah, good, sensible, Paddy. Sensible advice, and that person better have a camera or I'm messing around for sure. Oh, no, it wouldn't have been a koala. They don't have enough power in their kicks. Those drop bears, though, ooh, they got a mean kick, especially with their claws. Oh, I still got it. Actually, it's one of my bottom ones that it used to have like a 45-degree angle chip off it, and then as I got older, some super sensible dentist decided, we might as well just file all of these bottom teeth off to one flat level, and all of a sudden my gap has disappeared. So my teeth are pretty good. I could do with a whole bunch of mouthful of new ones.
Oh, I got you, Jim. See, I was in denial, I guess. That's why I didn't know.
Don't drink and smoke if you value your teeth, people. Drinking and smoking, nah, no good for your teeth. But then nor is like brushing your teeth too much is also bad for your teeth. So you got to weigh all this shit up, isn't it? Maybe brush your teeth once a day, but don't drink or eat anything. But if you, eat or drink anything, maybe do twice a day with a toothbrush. Again, like I said, not a real doctor. You don't have to take my advice, but most of my advice is sensible somewhat.
Kangaroos lure you into water to drown you?
That's a really interesting story, Paddy. I've never, ever heard that. I have no idea why a kangaroo would drown you. They don't. I mean, we're not a threat to the grass that they eat. We're not a threat to... I don't know. I'm at a loss. I've never heard of it. Yeah, dingoes are great, GRB. They don't bark. One of the only dogs on the planet that doesn't bark. Do you know that? Did you know that, Hank? Dingoes don't bark?
No, I didn't know dingoes didn't bark. There's a dog from Africa that doesn't bark?
The African wild dogs.
Basenji? Is it called a
Basenji. Basenji is a man-made breed. That's not a wild dog.
Oh yeah, well, I don't know. Is it a Basenji? I don't know. There's a little African dog that doesn't bark. I'm not sure which one it is.
Actually, I think you might be right. Actually, I think it is the Basenji. They're a beautiful little dog.
He looks like a wild dog with a curled tail and a little pointed ear.
Yeah, I always wanted one of them when I was a kid because they looked just right. Oh yeah, you can make an appointment, Tank Top. I do. I don't do. Oh, maybe I should start doing Zoom interviews because not everyone can join on StreamYard. So when I do my online consultancy, maybe I'd get more customers if I did a Zoom account. Good. I like your advice. Thank you, Jeffrey. I might. I'll put that in my notepad and work on that later on.
Jeffrey White says there's such thing as a pygmy, a dwarf kangaroo that he can keep in a cage.
Hang on, what was it? Did you have that on screen and I didn't read it?
Yep, there.
I'm certainly not going to endorse keeping any form of kangaroo or wallaby in a cage. But there's certainly small varieties that can be kept around a house, no different to a cat or a dog. They're trainable. If you've got a healthy supply of rolled up newspaper, just like a dog, they respond very well to a across the nose when they've been naughty. But they learn in time. But yeah, please don't keep any form of macropod in a cage. Thank you. PSA for the day.
Okay, Kevin Leong is asking, Jeffrey Watts asked it earlier, but I didn't know what MTS was. I know one way to cure multi-tank syndrome. If you buy real big tanks and you run out of room to put any more tanks, you've cured multi-tank syndrome.
I've got a better way. Just continually buy tanks, never stop buying tanks, and then it just becomes normal behavior. Ergo, not a syndrome
anymore. Hey!
Regular behavior. Oh, yes, this is my regular behavior. I buy a fish tank every week. This is not a syndrome. It might be behavior, but it's not a medical syndrome. I just need a new fish tank every week.
Gotcha. Hey,
much easier way to approach it.
And actually, because we in the fish fam, because it exists for us, there's so many of us, it's no longer a syndrome. It's just regular activity for us.
Yeah, it's just life. It's just today. Potentially, Kevin Leong, it's hard to pronounce. It's almost just pronounced long, isn't it? But you've got to do a little bit of an E in there. Leong. I think that's the most accurate Asian pronunciation I can get for that, Kevin. Potentially, Kevin has opened me up to a potential cameo avenue where, struggling fish keepers need medical advice that they can present to their parents to say, you must let me have another 2 7-foot tanks. Maybe, I might have to investigate this cameo stuff. Because then, not only will your parents get the right information, but, I'll get a kickback as well. I'll get $5 for saying, just let your kid have some tanks, or I'll come and knife your tires. What do they call it? Yeah,
shank your tires.
I'll shank your tires, mate.
Fit in between under on top
Panna
of the
City.
Oh,
Oh, don't forget, if you've taken any giggles or laughs from my shit jokes, go and subscribe to my channel. I want to get to 666 subscribers, and then I'll delete my YouTube account because I'm done.
you reached this goal and shut it down.
That means now there's going to be like half a dozen people. They're going to sit there watching it, and as soon as it gets to 666, they'll unsubscribe. So I never actually reach 666. You bastards! I've got it in for me.
The fix is in.
Can I ask your chat room of people, is it okay if I smoke a cigarette? I don't want to offend anyone by smoking on screen. I mean, I do it all the time on my live streams, but I'm not on my live stream right now. I'm on Hank's live stream, and I don't want to offend anyone, but I'm also an addict.
And I already told him that I didn't mind.
Hank did tell me, but I know it's Hank's show, but it's not only Hank's show. It's everyone's show who's here, and I don't want to offend anyone. So, let me know if you're offended, and I won't light up. What's coming up for you this week, Hank?
Well,
hang on. Do people actually call you Hank, or do most people know your real name?
no, I think there's only 3 people on YouTube that use my real name, and everybody else calls me Hank, even though I may have told them what my real name was, and they still just say Hank. Seems to be easier for them.
So much easier to spell Hank.
Yeah, it's so much easier for them. Hank, I'm like, man, I'm calling you Hank. Yeah, go ahead, I'm good. You see it, and you don't see my real name at all, so I can understand.
Yeah, I think it took me about maybe 18 months on YouTube before people started learning my real name and using it. They were like using it as ammunition in the chat. Like, oh, I know your real name. I'm going to use it. Yeah, okay. Have fun. Oh, no one said no, so I'm lighting up, by the way.
No, they got you. They got you.
They know me. Oh dear. I don't know if you're a smoker or not, but when you light a cigarette and you potentially catch a bit of a beard hair or a mustache hair in your light, and you get that first breath of
No. I used to smoke. I used to smoke back in the day, but I really didn't grow much facial hair during that time.
Yeah, burning hair, not the most aromatic fragrance going into your lungs.
Yeah, I know how it goes.
It's aromatic, but not in a good way.
Not pleasantly.
Quite unpleasant, to say the least.
One day as a youngster, I found my first rent house. I'm moving out on my own. So my father was coming over to light the pilot under my hot water heater. So as he's laying under there holding the button for the pilot, the gas is just turning loose under there, but the pilot is not lighting. So he's just holding. So when it did light, woof, and he was fully bearded, and it singed him down. So I know the smell.
Look, it's cheaper than a visit to the barber shop, but not necessarily as fragrant, because at least the barber's going to put some smelly shit on you at the end of the cut. But crikey, those fire haircuts.
Oh, it worked. Hey, just dusted a little bit, and he was ready.
I used to
She loved the smell of singed hair in the morning.
Yeah, it's probably a nastier fragrance than napalm.
Yeah, I would say so. I'll take the Sid's hair.
Like I'm definitely, as people that view my live streams can attest to, I'm a victim of nasal hair, and quite often as soon as I get a little bit of nose hair, it just irritates the hell out of me. I'm constantly playing with it and plucking at it, and one of my preferred methods for removing nostril hair
Pliers?
is
Oh no. Ah,
is fire. Yeah, lighting a light. Generally nowadays I have to like put a finger here, but essentially all you do is you hold your lit cigarette lighter near your nostrils and you go and you sniff it up, and it gets rid of them super rapid. But if you've experienced the smell of burning hair before, you kind of get that fragrance for about 2 hours afterwards. But by crikey, it's a good method of getting rid of those nonsense hairs that give you the irrits.
I pulled mine with pliers, but it seemed like it would work better, but I don't know. I'd be afraid the flame would run to my brain.
Yeah, no. I mean, if you feel that the fire goes too far into your sinuses, you can just blow out and it's gone. But it's consistent. You know, you get a consistent cut right through all of your hairs. Very, very rarely have I burnt myself doing this method. I found it more useful than painful. Bloody rookie error, Jeffrey. Rookie error.
Oh, how was he missing a cigarette? Oh, drunk. Gotcha.
I shouldn't have started talking about that. Now all of a sudden I can feel every single nose hair. But I'm not going to burn them, ladies and gentlemen. I know that's what you want, but it's not going to happen. Oh, it might. Goodness me.
Burnt your eyelashes.
Oh, Patty. Yeah, I can imagine Patty's burnt her eyelashes many times. Those things are like 4 feet long. They're the most impressive eyelashes on the planet behind mine. But therein lies an interesting quandary. Patty, why was fire so close to your eyes? I mean, I light cigarettes. I light cigarettes and they're still like 4 or 5 inches from my eyelashes. What the heck are you up to, Patty? What are you doing to yourself, love?
Lighting a cigarette with a real torch.
Yeah. Napalm apparently smells like gasoline. Isn't it a byproduct of distillation of petrol? I thought it was a gasoline product, if you call it that. Wait, when did I play House of the Rising Sun, Paddy? Oh, Jesus. This may be a reference to my 7-hour, 45-minute stream that I have very limited recollection of the last hour or two. I may have been drinking or stuff. I don't know, Paddy. I don't. Crikey. How am I going to watch 7 3/4 hours of replay to see me do a House of the Rising Sun cover? If that's what I did. Did I play House of the Rising Sun? I think I can remember. I remember trying to do some like lead guitar stuff to something that GRB was playing, and I might have played and sung Radiohead's "Creep." I got to stop getting so drunk on live streams.
You gonna make
Or
me go and look at the 7 hour
alternate,
replay?
alternatively, I have to like switch them off before I get too drunk. This is a, it's a delicate balance of these two situations. Goodness me. I mean, there's a YouTube famous situation where I threw a guitar on a live stream one time.
I saw that earlier in the chat, and I forgot to ask about it.
Oh, someone already referred to it.
Yeah, they mentioned it earlier in the chat when they were talking about you being musical.
Yeah, right, yeah. Well, sometimes your YouTube fame comes before what you're actually good at. Because I'm not necessarily that good at throwing my guitar at my laptop and making both things smash onto the ground. But, it's what I did. I owned it. I know, like, GRB's always good for a link, but I don't think GRB might be a mod here. I think GRB's got the timestamp and everything saved for that in his links.
Hey,
me.
Well, where are your GRB so I can make you a mod so you can post that? Here we go.
Yeah, I think GRB's been the most reliable mod of mine lately. Who's not only will put a link up, but he'll also give you a timestamp and stuff. Much to my chagrin, but if my legacy on YouTube is going to be getting drunk and smashing my guitar into my laptop and doing crazy things like that, then I've just got to own it. I've just got to own it and accept that that's my bit. The funny thing about that live stream was that the next day I was due, like at 11 o'clock in the morning, I was to be on someone else's live stream, and I've turned up to this person's live stream. I think it was Aquamate, probably. We used to do a lot of live streaming back in the day. And I had all of these people in the comments going, "How's your guitar, Blackie? How's your computer?" I'm like, what the hell are you people talking about? And whilst I'm on this live stream, someone had sent me a link to go back and watch and a timestamp, and I was mortified. Those, everyone's been drunk and woken up the next day and been told about the shit that they've done the previous night. I was like, oh yeah. No.
Good night, Tank Top Tropics.
See you, Tank Top. Thanks for hanging out. It's been good to meet you. Subscribe to my channel or I'll murder you.
I've had only one of those nights that I can think of, and I stopped drinking for some years after that.
I already did 4 years without drinking. I learnt enough then. I don't need to worry about doing that now.
Oh.
But yeah, it's funny when you get that stuff from people going, "Oh, this was awesome. It was great. You were so free and liberated and stuff." And it's like, oh yeah. I'm really happy that I made you feel good, but
who's gonna replace those?
I was really drinking, probably going through a bad time.
Oh.
But I appreciate that I made you feel better for the day. Because, what else can you do? So I think now that potentially may be my most famous YouTube moment for the rest of my life. And I'll have to deal with it. Oh, thanks, Tank Top. It's not a proper, not a true albino though. Tank top. It's got the normal coloured eyes, so I believe we call that either melanistic or leucistic. They're the terms in the reptile trade anyway, so I think it's the same with fish, melanistic or leucistic.
Is Patty in Australia?
Huh?
Is Patty in Australia? Where's Patty from?
No,
Where you from, Patty?
Patty's American.
American?
I think, anyway, I'm fairly certain Patty's a US and A person. And if I hello Sandy,
welcome.
How are you, Sandy? Good to see you. I don't know if I've said it on a live stream yet, but I'm really disappointed that Patty has changed her avatar from William Shatner. But you know, that's just my opinion. I didn't
know it was William Shatner. That was too small for me to see.
You what?
I said I didn't know it was William Shatner because it was too small for me to see.
No, it's not anymore. But Patty, she used to use a picture of William Shatner as Captain Kirk from Star Trek as her avatar, but now she changed to some fish or some other nonsense that no one understands. Fishy Mon is here as well. G'day, Fishy Mon.
Fishy Mon. Welcome.
Fishy Mon.
Late night crew falling in.
Asking if Doctor is actually my first name. I'm fairly certain Fishy Mon knows my real name. Oh, that's right, GRB. It was on Anthony's drinking game, wasn't it? Which I also apparently won that night.
Apparently, I think I can remember that. I remember that night. I just couldn't make it to see it.
Apparently, you win Anthony's drinking game by getting really drunk and being a dickhead.
Did Chattanooga Ed get sick on that one? Was it Chattanooga Ed?
Yeah, I think Chattanooga Ed actually spewed or vomited.
He got sick on that one.
Yeah, he was doing vodka shots. And I'm not 100% convinced that Ed was used to drinking straight alcohol at that stage. Ooh. I think he was really jumping in the deep end.
He was trying to fit in.
Well, he did quite well, but he was certainly struggling after the first 2 or 3 questions that he got wrong. And yeah, unfortunately for all of the other contestants, I'm a god at trivia. So no matter what they threw at me, I don't even remember having a wrong answer. I'm so smart, aren't I?
ergo the D and the R, huh?
I might have to go back and revisit that stream and actually see what questions I got wrong, so you know I can learn myself up a bit better and never ever get a question wrong again.
Let me screenshot that so I can go find that.
But yeah, I think I don't know if there was ever a second episode of the drinking game that Anthony GRB, thank you. Thanks, GRB. Yeah, I don't know if there was ever because it was supposed to be like a round robin type tournament where there'd be like 4 different contestants each week, and then there'd be like semi-finals and then finals. And I don't think it ever went much further because maybe Dr. Black might have ruined it for everyone. No, not much at all, Kevin. I don't. I mean, I remember the first hour, but like I was drinking Wild Turkey, and that's like 43% alcohol, and most of the other people were drinking 40% or less alcohol, plus doing American shots, which are apparently less than Australian shots. So I was doomed from the start. But I still won.
We didn't hit the 2-hour mark, y'all. We're gonna have to get out of here.
Wow, and we were concerned, like we were talking before we started about,
yes,
I don't know if I have anything to keep going. And here we are.
I remember talking about that 15 minutes was a struggle, and we had 2 hours.
So is someone kicking off live after this?
Anthony's fishy friend probably 30 minutes ago. Should have been.
Ah, right. Okay.
Hey, I'm gonna thank you, man. Thank you for coming on here. I really enjoyed it. Hey, been looking forward to it for a long time.
It's been a while. It's been in the works. It's good to get it done.
Appreciate the sacrifice.
Hey, there was no sacrifice because the next day my laptop turned on and started no worries, even though I had to pick it up off the concrete floor.
Oh, so it didn't shatter. Okay.
No, and my guitar didn't even go out of tune. It was still in tune the next day. Anthony's already finished his stream because he drank too much. Put it in the
No.
Oh, that's pretty impressive. Normally he'd just start his stream and let other people take it over, but he must have just closed it down anyway. That's funny.
Great.
Bloody. Yeah.
Well, all right. I'm gonna shut it on down. Hey, y'all, thank y'all for coming through here. Let's see, thank you for the stream. Thank you, Foxy. Hey, we enjoyed it. Oh, Aqua Balls is on. Well, all right, y'all. You know how I do. Thank y'all for coming through. I love you and appreciate you. Peace.
Thanks heaps, everyone.